Welcome to the Cherry Purls podcast. This is going to be episode 72. We are a knitting and spinning podcast, and we are coming to you every other week from outside New Orleans, Louisiana, and we are so glad that you're here with us today. So I am Robin.
I'm Mary.
You can find me as Teenybutton on Instagram and Ravelry, and my Etsy shop is Teenybutton Studio, where I sell hand-dyed yarn.
I am Snippin' Full on Ravelry, and on Instagram, I am Cherry Purls Mary.
And we have a podcast group. That is where you can find the show notes for this episode and links to everything we're going to talk about. And that's also where you can find our giveaway and our chatter and our finished objects threads for our knit-alongs. It's going to be linked down below, and you can find it on Ravelry as Cherry Purls Podcast in the Groups tab. So we have drawn some winners for our C is for Caring Make-Along. And we have redrawn a winner for our last giveaway since that person didn't come forward. So would you like to do the announcements?
Okay. For the C is for Caring Make-Along, we asked people to make something for a cancer patient. And we have this lovely prize right here for the finished objects thread. This was donated to the podcast group for the Make-Along from Tiffany of Southern Sparrow Handmade. And we would love to thank Tiffany for that. You've got some stitch markers.
I feel like Vanna.
A beautiful bag. There will be some yarn.
This is
2 skeins of Patton's Grace. That is a yarn that is preferred or acceptable from knittedknockers.org is one of the yarns that they will accept knitted knockers from.
And this is in the blush colorway.
So there's 2 skeins of that. And then there's a little bag to put some fiberfill in so you can stuff the knockers if you so choose to. That will have some fiberfill in it. Just doesn't have it in there now.
And then a secret goodie pouch with secret goodies.
Little goodie put in there by Tiffany. Mm-hmm. And is anything else?
Paper to wrap it in.
Oh, and paper for us to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so we had a lot of wonderful entries in our finished objects thread, and the winner of this wonderful prize is Sparkbeat, Megan. Thank you, Megan. I think Megan knit 5 pair of socks, and so she has, I think it's a friend or a coworker, somebody who's close to her who is going through some cancer treatments and chemo, and she knit the socks for this person. And
colorful socks will cheer you up.
Yes, and so this will be going out to Megan probably next week. Yeah, probably not tomorrow, but
Saturday.
Definitely next week.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Megan. We also drew for a pattern prize winner in our chatter group, and the winner of that prize is MS Golden Needles, which is Debbie. So, ladies, if you can message me on Ravelry, I would appreciate it. Megan, send me your mailing address. And Debbie, let me know what pattern you would like to have as a gift, if that is $7 or less.
Yay!
So thank you to everyone who entered.
Yeah, and thank you again to Tiffany for donating our lovely prize. We have another winner to redraw, so let's go ahead and do that.
Yes, last podcast we drew the winner of the You Are a Pink Starburst shawl pattern. This was by Naomi Grace Knits. I couldn't remember her middle name. And she graciously donated that to someone in the podcast. And so the winner that we drew last time did not come forward, so we redrew. And the new winner is Stella Bella Quilts, and that is Gretchen. So Gretchen, if you could message me and let me know that you've heard that you've won the prize, and then I will get in touch with Naomi Grace and let her know that you are the winner. If no one comes forward by the time we podcast again, we will redraw for that prize.
Are we going to redraw again after that, or are we going to?
Sure. No, this was donated by a designer, so we're going to continue to draw until somebody comes forward. For the C is for Caring prizes also, if the winners do not come forward by the next podcast, we will redraw for those also.
So we have another knit-along currently going on. That is our Socks in Space knit-along, which we are co-hosting with the wonderful Candace at the Pin, Feathers, and Pearls podcast.
Love Candace.
The goal or the rules are you have to knit a pair of socks that have to be space-themed in some way. That can either be through the yarn The yarn can be space themed or Star Wars or Doctor Who, spacey kind of fandoms. Or you can knit a space themed pattern of, sock pattern.
What could be space like planets?
Yeah. Yeah, so we have a bundle in our group if you're stuck on pattern ideas. I do have a handful of sock yarn in some spacey themed colors if that interests you, if you're looking for sock themed yarn. If you have any questions about whether or not your yarn will count, feel free to message any of the three of us. Then we can tell you definitively yes or no.
Did you say how long it's running?
I did not. It started November 1st and it will end at the end of the year, December 31st.
So you have time to start if you haven't started yet. Yep. You have time actually even buy yarn, get it, and then start.
You can make shorty socks. They just have to go on your feet. Doesn't matter what kind of socks they are. So we have the chatter and finished objects threads in 2 different groups. Candace is hosting the chatter thread, and we have the finished objects thread where you can post whenever you're finished. You do have to be a member of both of the Ravelry groups to be able to win a prize. We have a couple of people who have posted who are not members, and if we draw their name, we will not be able to give them the prize because you do have to be a member of the group. It's one of the rules. But other than that, it's fairly loose knit along. Knit a pair of socks. So
take a picture, post it in the finished objects thread.
So we're really excited about this.
It's our second year to do it.
Second year doing it. You finished your socks because you're on the ball. I have almost finished one, but that's okay. We still have a month and some change.
There's no rush.
Yeah. So that is our knit along. We have a coupon code that we'll talk about until it expires. This is from Kath Thorley, offering 20% off of her patterns using the code CherryPurls20, good through March 2018. So thank you, Kath. And with that, I think we're ready for finished objects.
Yep, I think that's all of the administrative information.
You got a bunch.
I've got 4.
Ooh, look at you go. I got 2. That's a lot of finished objects. That's a good amount for us.
Yeah.
You ready to go first?
Sure. I will start off with socks. I finished a pair of socks this week. I must still be on a sock roll. This is, I'm trying to blank, mustache yarn. And this is in the Kama Sutra colorway. And I did a contrasting heel in Robin's yarn. What was the color again?
Herbology.
I keep forgetting that. And
I really like
to put that in the show notes, so I will need to add that in.
I really like the contrast with the green.
Yeah, I do too. So I'm okay with not having a contrasting toe, but I like having a contrasting heel. This is the first time I did a contrasting heel, and I do really like it. When I do my socks, I do a rounded toe. Then I do a fish lips kiss heel, and then I also do the gusset modification that's in Mina's vanilla sock recipe. So it's a combination of 3 different patterns, or
it's a mashup.
Collaboration, I guess, of 3 different patterns. But those will be linked in the show notes. And I really enjoyed knitting these. I bought this yarn a couple of years ago at DFW Fiberfest. I wanted to go ahead and knit them up because it's too pretty not to have it knit up. It was a beautiful look at on the shelf, but I wanted to actually, put it into something.
It's not too pretty to eat.
No, not too pretty to eat.
That's what we used to say whenever we didn't want to eat something. Instead of insulting, you say, "Oh, it's too pretty to eat."
Yeah. So these will be fun on my feet later on.
Yeah.
So that's
such a classic colorway by her. I love that colorway so much.
It is fantastic, and I really enjoy knitting Stacy's yarn. I have several more skeins in my stash, and I'll be working on those at some point.
Probably buy some more at this year's DFW.
Yeah. I didn't this past year because I knew I had some I hadn't done anything.
I bought some. Yeah, that's where I got the Leia.
I'm trying to think. No, I don't think I did.
You bought me some for Larry.
I did buy.
You bought the Leia for Larry S.'s Easter present.
That's true.
So it's an Easter present and a Christmas present whenever he finally gets his socks.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a little backwards, but still funny. Yeah. I'll go next.
Okay.
So I finished a shawl. This is my Reina shawl, which is a pattern by Nora. I don't know what I was thinking. Nora Laviola. And it is a free pattern. It is fantastic. I've never knitted before. This is the first time, but you have.
Yeah, I've knitted, and I really enjoy knitting it. It's easy, and it's one of those great patterns to knit while you're around other people, talking and just enjoying being around other people.
I was able to use every scrap of this yarn. I think I have a ball that's like maybe that big. Maybe I have 4 or 5 yards left. And it's a good size. It's definitely a shawlette, but it fits around my neck without me worrying about it falling off. This is my yarn. This is the Teenybutton Studio Silky Sock Base, which is 80/20 merino and silk. And the colorway is a new colorway that I have called Shell Cottage. I talked about this last week. It was actually a first draft for a different color, but I liked it so much, now I'm offering it as a separate colorway. So, yeah, I'm really, really liking it.
Fabulous pattern.
Yeah, I did add an extra, the last 2 rows of eyelets and then that garter at the end. I added that just so I could get the most out of my yarn.
And yeah, you had just a tiny bit left.
Yeah, and this is a 400 yard skein, so you could get the full pattern out of a 400 yard skein easy, because I know sometimes it's a little iffy.
Definitely if you don't have one of the project, and then you can keep going until you almost out of yarn.
Yeah, so I highly recommend this pattern. It is free, which is always appreciated. I'm so surprised whenever some people offer like really complex patterns for free. Not that this one is, but like,
yeah, this one's not a complex one.
But still, it's been knit so many times, and it's such a good like staple.
Well, you say that about the Speckle Space socks.
Yeah.
That's a really great pattern that is on the complicated side.
Yeah, well,
and it's free.
I appreciate, all the work that designers do, and I do think they should get paid for it. But it's up to the individual designer if they think that their pattern is worth,
if they want to get paid.
Yeah, if they want to be, offer it for free, but,
We appreciate patterns in all forms, but free is always nice.
Yes. So, the Raina shawl. Good size. I really like it. So, that's going to be a sample for my booths in the coming year. So, that is exciting.
I have a second pair of socks.
Woo!
So another pair of socks. I like shorties. This time I used Desert Vista Dye Works Viso, and in the colorway is a Colorful Celebration. And
that's a cute name.
I did a contrasting heel in some yarn. I have no idea what yarn this is. It was a mini, I think.
Huh.
But I liked putting it in. It was, kind of like what we had talked about doing the dark navy heel.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have anything that I really wanted that I thought would go well with this, but I really do like the navy with it.
I like whenever you can split a stripe and it looks like the stripe is the same color as the heel.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really cool look.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell they're not the same color, but I
think they're close.
Yeah, it's close. And I used the same 3-pattern collaboration as I did on the earlier pair of socks. So this is pair number 2 that will go into my drawer and onto my feet.
You could probably, knock out a box of socks.
I am not even trying to do a box of socks.
I don't actually know if she allows shorties. I don't know if
well, I don't like tall socks, and I'm not knitting what I don't like just to enter a knit along. Yeah. So I'm okay with that. If I'm very happy to be back to enjoying my socks now that I have
cracked the code.
I had cracked it before apparently, but before I wasn't doing the gusset with Mina, and I do like the addition of that. It just gives me an extra bit of room as I'm pulling the sock around my heel.
Yeah.
So I think this 3-pattern combo is working for me.
Woohoo!
So yes,
go again.
Oh,
yeah, you got 4.
Okay, so I can kind of just do both of them at the same time.
Sure, whatever you want.
So I have 2 hats. This was some car knitting that I had on the needles. Ooh, that wasn't weaved in very well. But anyway, this is Knit Picks. Stroll, is it?
I don't know, I'm guessing. Swish worsted.
Swish worsted. Okay.
That's why we have show notes, people.
Yes, in the colorway Garnet Heather. Last podcast I showed a hat in this colorway. I had 2 50-gram skeins, and so this is the other skein. And then I also knit a kid hat from Starting My Hats for Kiddos. This is in Loops and Threads Charisma in the colorway Bouquet. And on both, I don't know if the smaller of the two hats that I did in this garnet worsted, I think it's the hat from last podcast. I've got some extra yarn. I'm going to make a pom-pom for it. And then this one, I'm going to do pom-poms on the two points.
Oh, it's going to be cute. So you don't have to weave that end all the way in.
Yeah, that's why.
A little bit.
Yeah, it'll be covered up by the pom-pom. But anyway, so, but I like to weigh them before I put the pom-poms on so that I have an accurate yardage of how much I've knit. So these are the last two finished objects I have for this week.
Yeah, we need to get ready for our yearly recap. Yeah, I've got a month left. I got to start getting my yardage and stuff together.
I started a spreadsheet at the beginning of the year, and I haven't kept it up. No. But I need to go back and plug all that in.
Yeah, that's a good idea, but I think I'm just going to use my Ravelry pages.
Well, I do. I was going to...
the import into the spreadsheet?
Yeah. That was the plan, that I was going to stay on top of it all the year. Didn't happen.
Yeah. So I have one more finished object. This was cast on and finished, and y'all have not seen it. This is the first time you've seen it if you don't follow me on Instagram. This is my Land of Sweets cowl, which is part of the Knit Vent collection by Curious Handmade Helen Stewart. And I saw this pattern, and I wasn't going to buy the whole Knit Vent collection. I was going to wait until it came out. I'm not really big into collections, like the Shawl Society and stuff. I kind of just like to wait and then buy the patterns I like at the end. But this one, I was like, I want to knit it now. Because it's very festive, and I just really wanted to get it done.
Well, you like the pattern enough to go ahead and buy the collection.
Yeah, the other patterns in the collection are really cute. I don't know if I'm ever going to knit them, but Helen Stewart does such good patterns. You know, if I'm ever stuck for something to knit, you know, it's in the library. I can use it eventually, maybe. But this one just spoke to me. So I cast it on, and I finished it in less than a week. And that's with having to rip half of it back.
Yeah, what's cool about this pattern is she wrote it in order to use 24 minis if you're doing an Advent swap.
Advent calendar or swap.
Yeah.
I used 15 because I didn't have 24 that I thought looked really good together that I had enough of. So most of this is Knox Yarn Company. Some of them I know off the top of my head, and some of them I don't. This one's Hot Cocoa. This one is Sprinkle. This one is something tea. Chai tea, maybe? This one's a mystery. This one is actually Perfect Stitch Fiber Co. This one's a mystery. This one's, I can't remember. This one's Filigree Further. This one is Mint Shake. This one is Cheering Charm. This one is Pistachio Rose Frosting. This is Vine in Succulents. It's her blitzed base. This is the Ford Anglia. Am I saying that right? It's an Anglia?
Yeah, Anglia.
Okay. Ford Anglia colorway. This one's a mystery, and then this one is the Potions Master. So Danielle and I have done several swaps, and I've ordered from her a couple of times. So every time she sends me minis, and one time she sent me the full collection of her Sweets minis. So I used most of them in this project. And I had originally switched these two, and I was getting this harsh line right here that I didn't like. So I was way up here, and I just ripped it back, and I'm really glad that I did, because I
love how that looks.
Yeah, I like the progression of the colors much better. So since I only had 15 minis,
that would play well together.
Yeah, I cut out the middle section, so I did sections 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then I did sections 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So not quite exactly how the pattern wrote it, but I think the effect is really nice overall.
Yeah, I like it.
So, yeah, I dropped everything to cast this on. I think I worked on it straight for like 3 or 4 days.
It was speaking to you.
Yeah, really.
Sometimes a pattern will do that, you know?
Yeah, and
you've got to cast it on now, and then you don't want to put it down.
Yeah, I wore it yesterday. Yesterday was Thanksgiving, since today is Black Friday. And it really actually kept me a lot warmer than I thought it would. It was in the 30s last night. It was amazing. I was actually cold. I'm always cold, but I was actually cold, and other people were cold too.
It was legitimate cold.
Yeah, it was legitimate cold. And we did Black Friday, because Larry loves Black Friday, and we went to Walmart. And it was just really cold. Like, the store was cold, and now it was just, yeah, but it was surprisingly warm for a lace, kind of loosely knit dealio.
Well, that's wool. Wool is very insulating, and it doesn't need to be a really thick yarn to keep you warm.
Yeah, so this is mostly her Mars sock, which is her 75-25. There's a couple of Stellina skeins in there, but other than that,
yeah, a little bit of sparkle every once in a while.
Just a little bit. So
As you're holding it, I can see little pops of sparkle.
I really love it. I'm really happy with it.
It's a great pattern.
Great pattern.
Good job, Helen.
Yeah, the other patterns are really cute too. Just not something I'm not sure I'm going to knit it.
What's on not on your radar right now?
Yeah. So that is my second finished object.
Hmm.
So we have some works in progress.
I just have the one.
We have work in progress.
So we switched. I had finished objects galore, and you've got works in progress.
Yes. Yeah. So I am going to show y'all my Socks in Space project with my kitty cat bag. This is one of my favorite bags.
Because it's got pearl on it.
Yeah. This is from Lynn at Sunshine and Bubblegum, who we love. So these are going to be socks for Larry for Christmas. And this, again, is Mustache in her Leia colorway. So that is what I have left of the first cake. And the second one is right there. I haven't even wound it up yet. Yeah, so this is how much I have done. It's kind of been slow going. I've been waiting till he comes over so he can try it on so I can tell when to start the ribbing, but every time he comes over we get distracted. So I'm going to cut in an afterthought heel.
That's the heel that he prefers. Yes,
that's the heel that he prefers. And this way I can use the most of this cake, especially because this is an underweight skein. Stacy had a bundle.
A grouping.
She had some underweight skeins. And so this one is only 75 grams instead of the usual 100 grams. And he has big feet, so I know that I'm not going to get full-size socks out of these. So I want to make sure I have enough to make, because he doesn't want shorties, he wants them taller. So I'm going to make sure I can make them as tall as I can.
You're going to keep knitting till you run out.
Yeah, and then I can always put in an afterthought heel. I mean, a contrast heel with afterthought.
Sure.
Afterthought heel with contrast yarn.
That
to make the yardage go a little farther.
You could do purple heels since he loves purple.
He loves purple. That's his favorite color. Yeah, I could stick it right here. That'd be an idea.
Just wherever you need to put it.
Yeah. I think that'd be really cute, actually. I'll have to see what he thinks. But he usually gets socks for Christmas. He got socks for Christmas last year, and I think he might have got socks for Christmas the year before. But he's appreciative of my hand knits.
He's definitely knit worthy.
Thankfully he's not one of those guys that only wants black and green, you know. So not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just not the most fun to knit. So every pair I've made for him has been stripey and fun and colorful. So I really appreciate that in my knitting.
I don't like to knit with black.
I don't think anybody does.
It's just hard to see the stitches.
Yeah. So that is my first work in progress. I have two new ones that y'all haven't seen. I'm just going to go through since you only have the one.
Sure.
This I started the other day, and I'm already more than halfway finished. So it is in my... I love showing my bags because I love these bags so much. This is from Little Skein in the Big Bowl, and it's her Bunny Moon bag. And I think it matches... Oops. Oh, no.
Turn down.
Whoops. Matches the yarn. So I'm making a pair of mittens, which I have actually never made full-fingered mittens before. I've only ever made fingerless. So this pattern is Palmistry DK by Stephanie Lotvin.
Yeah, I guess I would say Lotvin.
Yeah. And this is some old hand spun that I had. I can't remember when I actually spun this.
Look how beautiful that is.
I think it's from Edgewood Garden Studio, I think.
It's been in your stash for a while.
Yeah, I think I definitely spun it at the old house because the picture I have of it is on the old mantelpiece. So a year and a half, 2 years almost, at least. So it's a 2-ply, and it's something very rustic. It's Falkland or Corriedale or something. Well, probably Falkland if I had to guess. And it's really interesting, this pattern. The thumb increases. I don't know if y'all can see, but it's like a line right there. So
it doesn't have, the gusset usually comes out the side.
Yeah, like the gusset comes from the bottom.
But the gusset on this one kind of...
It looks like the shape of your hand.
Yeah, but so the curve goes like this. It is a very interesting design. I think she was kind of brilliant with it.
Yeah, she has, actually, this pattern also is in fingering and worsted. So you can use almost any yarn in your stash. And she was offering it for free for a limited time, which I think is how I got it. So, again, very generous of Stephanie. And she was actually at Into the Wool.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. So this is my second mitten. And, oh, look, a kitty cat.
Meow.
So these worked up so quickly. I'm so used to working with fingering weight that I kind of forget.
Yeah, that's how that hat went. That was a bulky and it went in fast.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of bulky patterns around lately, and I'm thinking about trying some out for the shop because I kind of want to knit some bulky weight projects, but I don't have any bulky weight. So that may be an idea. If anyone out there feels strongly one way or the other, should I carry it or not, and you want to give me some feedback, I'd appreciate it. But I just think it'd be fun. It's not something a whole lot of dyers carry, but there's a lot of patterns out there for it. So that is my second work in progress. You want to show yours?
Sure. I started this a couple of weeks ago, and then I didn't knit on it, but I have worked on it this week. The yarn's a bit, there we go. This is the Frieze Shawl by Lisa Hannes, and it's another one of those patterns similar to the Crossfire by Jennifer Dessau, that it's a mosaic. I'm really enjoying knitting this. I mean, it's a lot of slip stitches, and one of those patterns that kind of lets the yarn do the fancy work for you. I'm knitting this in 2 of Robin's yarns. This is Teenybutton Studio Lush. It is her MCN base, and this is the bear, and this is Unicorns in My Coffee, and it's kind of falling apart here.
Oh, you're okay.
Isn't the most beautiful, but I think it's looking really interesting. I'm enjoying it. The whole pattern has this design on the whole pattern, but I'm really not sure if I'm going to do the whole pattern.
It's mosaic?
Yeah, it's all mosaic. But I'm kind of thinking I might do just some striping and go back and forth between doing the slip stitch part and, have pops of this. I can't really decide. But the way the pattern is written, it's a triangular base shawl knit sideways, and the pattern is basically this design over the whole shawl. So,
has anybody in the projects done anything with the striping?
Nope.
No.
You
could be a trailblazer.
Yeah, it's kind of like that other Lisa Hannes pattern that I did. I can't remember what the name of it was. That everybody else had done it in 2 colors, and I did it in 4?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So
I can't remember the name of it either.
Anyway, I'm really enjoying this. It's has been very fun to knit. I'm enjoying it. I love mosaic. I love slip stitches and how it gives you an interesting texture and how it really, changes your yarn. You don't get any pooling or anything like that. So this has been really fun so far. And I think Lisa's done another amazing pattern.
Lisa hit it out of the park again.
Yeah, she usually does. I have a bunch of her patterns.
Yeah. So I have one more work in progress to show y'all. And I finished the swatch. I showed y'all the beginning of it. So this is my swatch. And I got gauge smack dab on the first try. So that rarely happens, but I'm not going to complain. So I decided to go with the cardigan Peridot or Peridot. I always thought it was Peridot, and then whenever Steven Universe came out, they started calling that character Peridot, so now I'm doubting myself.
I've always heard Peridot.
I have too, except for that one. So maybe I'm just going to say Peridot, because that sounds fancier anyway.
Yeah, Steven Universe may be using creative license to change the way it's spelled. Mm. It's kind of like Oprah was a misspelling. Mm. And then it became Oprah. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No. So this is my sweater. It's done. Isn't it lovely?
You're going to be so warm in
that. I know. I decided to go with the cardigan Peridot from, what is her name? Tricot Design MCL. And it's very interesting construction. I've done this once before, but I didn't actually finish the sweater.
Bless you.
Excuse me. But I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but you use a provisional cast on so that you can work both of the button bands at the same time.
So you start with the button bands?
Yes.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, and then you pick them up. You pick up on the inside. Yeah, it's neato. It's awesome, because if there's one thing I hate, it's being finished with everything except the button band, and then you're like, man, I really have to knit the button band too, and then you think about wearing it without the button band, and you're like, yeah, I better not. So
I wouldn't know. Never seen a sweater.
So this is the first sweater this isn't the first sweater I've done this on, but it's the first sweater I'm going to complete with this on because the other sweater did not get completed. So it's just a very little sweater. And I'm knitting this out of Teenybutton Studio. This is Soft Sock in my Poffle of Puff Skeins colorway.
Well, better hold it back here because if you hold it too close, it gets blown out.
Yeah, it is the...
Look how beautiful this is.
It is the Harry Potter Club colorway from September, which will become available in January. Yes, I do the math there. Become available in January. And now that I say that, I realize I should show the one for this month, so I'm going to get that in a second. But that is how much I have so far, which is fine. The goal is to get this finished by DFW Fiber Festival. A little announcement, I will be vending at the DFW Fiber Festival. But I just like the idea of being very visible. And like if people want to look for me, I'll be like, just look for the neon pink and you'll find me. So it'll probably be my Rhinebeck sweater too, because I'll be easy to spot. So I'm thinking about calling this my Arnold sweater because Ginny Weasley's puff skein, Ginny Weasley's, what do they call him? Pygmy Puff is named Arnold, and I think that's really cute. So this might be my Arnold sweater. But that is my last work in progress.
Do you know why the Pygmy Puff was named Arnold? Where they got the name Arnold? I'm guessing. They used to have a show a long time ago called Petticoat Junction, and there was a pig on there named Arnold. So I'm assuming the Pygmy Puff Arnold may be named after the...
You gotta contact J.K. Rowling and ask her.
Oh no, it's that's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that Green Acres was that big of a show in the UK, but it's kind of coincidental, because Arnold isn't really a typical name, I would assume, for a pig. Actually, I don't have a lot of friends in the pig industry, so I don't know what they usually name
What's
their
up
pigs.
with that?
But it just seems
we did know a pig named Richard.
That's right. I had forgotten all about Richard.
And the goat was named Jeremy.
Yeah. One of the Girl Scout camps, what's his name? The ranger had a pygmy potbelly pig and a goat. And those were the names.
You don't realize how big pigs can get. Like, those things can get, like, 6 feet long.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you go to some of the state fairs and stuff and you see where the kids that are doing the FFA competitions and all that, and you see the pigs and the sheep and goats and cows and all that.
Yeah.
You're used to seeing a cow. I don't see a lot of pigs out in the wild. Because they kind of stay close to the farm, not like cows. They're not going to be out in the field.
Yeah.
But yeah, they get to be big.
That was an interesting pig tangent.
Yeah.
But we have...
People think Pearl is a pig, but
Stop.
No, she doesn't get that big.
Oh, that's not nice.
Pearl likes her food. She likes to get her feed on.
We have some stash to show, right?
Yes, we do.
I received a message from a wonderful viewer of the podcast who wishes to remain anonymous, and she told me that she had an extra skein of coloring book yarns that she wasn't going to use, and would I like it? And I'm like,
only
yes,
a bucket list
please.
yarn for
Yes.
Robin.
And this is one of the colorways I was trying to get. This one and Autumn Mint were the two that I really wanted. So I asked her, I'm like, you want me to pay for it? And she's like, no, I want it to be a gift. And she offered to send something for you too. And I said, that's not necessary. And she said, I want to. So super generous. Thank you. You know who you are. We really, 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 really appreciate it. It was crazy. It was crazy generous.
Very, very unexpected.
Yeah.
And very much appreciated. Yeah. Thank you.
So she sent me coloring book yarns. This is the Sweet Tooth colorway. Because y'all know how I feel about some mint and pink. And this is her... fingering weight, there's no base name. 400 yards, 80/20 merino and nylon. So this is definitely going to be vanilla socks. I'm thinking I might save it for Valentine's Day because it's kind of Valentine's Day.
Oh, that'd be pretty.
Yeah, very springy kind of.
If not, you could definitely do Easter.
Yeah, so save it for them. But it's like my yarn baby. I love it. I love it so much. So thank you.
And I received a beautiful skein of Madeline Tosh Pashmina in charcoal. And this is a beautiful color, and it will go perfectly in some project. I don't know what.
I was thinking it's the same base as what you're about to knit your sweater out of.
It is.
So you could use your sweater leftovers.
Oh, I could, yeah. If I have any.
I think you're gonna.
I don't know. I'm panicking over that.
You bought an extra skein. You should have some left over.
We'll see.
And you knit tight, so you're gonna use a little bit less yarn than. It's gonna be okay.
I don't know. I haven't. I've chosen a pattern, but I haven't swatched yet. I'm waiting for the needles to come in. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the needles that I had, and it was gonna bug me. So I decided to go ahead and get some needles, and so I'm waiting for that. And so I've chosen a pattern, and I have my yarn, and it is the same base. So if I have any leftovers. I don't know why I'm panicking over doing a sweater. I really am. I'm panicking.
It's nothing to worry about.
But I'm like, lots of people knit sweaters, and I'm a big girl, so yeah.
My first sweater was hideous. I knit it out of some bamboo blend I got from Hobby Lobby, and I knit the Amiga sweater. I think it was the Amiga sweater from Knitty, and I did not do the bind off stretchy enough to fit around my hips, so it did not close in the front, and it didn't even it was bad. I have it in my project as an ugh. So I don't know where it is. I think I might have thrown it away because I was just upset. I was frustrated.
Not an ugh because the pattern was bad.
No, the pattern was great. It was.
Why didn't you frog it?
Well, I didn't really like the yarn that much, and my gauge was my gauge was right, but I think I used a fingering weight instead of a sport weight, or I used a sport instead of a DK or something because the gauge was super loose. You
just didn't like the fabric.
No.
Mm-mm. Yeah. That happens.
Yeah. But anyway, we have a question for you guys this week, right?
Well, we want to thank everybody who participated in the question last week. Yeah. We got some really great answers. It looks like a lot of people like wood, a lot of people like metal, and a lot of people like interchangeables. So, which is kind of like how we feel. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate everybody who answered our question from last week. So we have a new question for you this week. I enjoy watching the U University podcast. I'm not sure if y'all watch that, but I really enjoy watching her podcast. And the last couple of podcasts that she's done has focused on Christmas. She's done one on some little gifts, things that you can knit. As quick gifts, and one on free things that knitters can use, like project tags whenever you give something to somebody. So those are the last
printables.
Yeah, printables that are free out there for knitters to use. So our question for you this week is, what is on your Christmas list that is knitting, crochet, or fiber related? Is there something that you would like to get for Christmas?
What would you like to get for Christmas?
I have some yarns on my Christmas list. I have some stitch markers.
What? What yarns?
Oh gosh, I can't think off the top of my head.
I already bought you some yarn, actually.
Oh, shoot.
It wasn't off your wish list, but I knew you'd like it.
Well, there's some stray cat yarn that I have. Mm-hmm. I have a bundle that I created on Etsy. So there's some stray cat yarn that I think is beautiful. I actually got on and put a couple of things in my cart earlier today, and then I backed off. Sweet Georgia is doing a 30% off sale, and we
loaded up last year.
We took advantage of it last year, and I haven't knit all that.
I haven't either.
But
I haven't even touched it.
30% off of Sweet Georgia. I'm like, and then I stopped myself and I said, okay, you know what? You do not need this. So then I took everything out of my cart and closed the window. So
back it down. Back away.
Yeah,
Put it down, walk away.
Yeah. Step away from the yarn. So anything colorful, self-striping, I'd be happy to get. There's some really cute stitch markers out there that I would love to have. There's a Princess Bride set that I think is adorable. There's some Harry Potter ones that I think are really cute. I think that's about it. And then there's some patterns that I have that I would love to get, but nothing that I'm can't live without. But lots of things that would be fun to get.
Yeah.
So what's on yours?
I am thinking about if I want to get the Luca needle interchangeable set, because I like interchangeable sets.
I love interchangeable sets.
I feel like I'm always borrowing needles from you all the time. Like, these are your needles. So I'm not going to live with you forever. So at some point I'm going to need to get my own needles, or I'm going to have to call you up and be like, hey, I'm coming over. You better have your needles ready.
Well, you know what I'm doing, and I forgot that was on my list, because I know Nana and Kathy are getting this for me. I have the Knit Picks interchangeable set, and I don't use all of those needles.
Mm-hmm.
I just use like a small range. I don't really use anything 10 and up, although I did for this bulky yarn.
Yeah.
But I usually stay in the range of like 8 to 5 mostly is what I do.
Yeah.
So what I did put on my list for to give to Nana, my sister, was I wanted some interchangeables, some ChalGoo interchangeables. And then a couple of days ago, the needles that I'm waiting to come in to do my sweater are some more ChalGoo interchangeables. So I think that I'm not going to buy an interchangeable set, but I may buy some individual interchangeables and just get the sizes that I use.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, I mean, it depends on how you want to do it. I just have, I like the Knit Picks needles, and I've used them for years. But as other needles came into my life, I really love the ChalGoos. I like the pointy tip.
Mm-hmm.
And I started swatching that sweater with the Knit Picks, and I was just hating it because the pattern that I'm using, you have to knit into the back of the stitch, and the tip was just too blunt. I was like, I mean, I could get it, but I'm like,
you're struggling the whole time.
The whole sweater's knit this way, and I knew that I was just going to be like, not enjoying it. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I went ahead. Handsome Fiber was doing a sale, and I went ahead and bought the case. So an empty case, so I can put my interchangeables in the case.
They offer the empty case.
Yeah, they offer the empty case, and so that way I'll just have the needles in the case that I actually am going to use. And I really didn't want to put them with my Knit Picks needles because then I'm like digging through them, and is this one go with this one?
Yeah, metal needles all kind of look the same.
Well, when you're in a hurry and you don't want to turn all the lights on.
Yeah, you have to start that project now. You can't wait any longer.
Yeah, pretty much. So as soon as those needles come in, I will be doing my swatch.
Yeah, I'm thinking about if I want another pair of the sock blockers that I really love.
That's another thing that's on my list.
Yeah, these are from Alex Workshop. I forget.
He's on Etsy.
Yeah, he's on Etsy. He's in the Ukraine. And Larry bought me these for, I think, our anniversary this year. But I love them. I love the aesthetic, and they fill out my socks really well because I knit I do a 68 stitch sock, and so the wire ones that I have are a little bit smaller. They must be for a medium and not like a larger size, but they fill them out really well, and I can use them in my booth at shows for like display purposes. So I might ask for another pair of these.
Yeah, but if they're coming from the Ukraine, you should have already asked for those, no?
Yeah, maybe for Valentine's Day. That's the thing. It's like Larry keeps asking me what I want. And he's like, "Oh, make a wish list." And I have a wish list on Pinterest, but everything I want is like really expensive and stuff that I wouldn't want from him. Because like, I don't know. I don't want anything too utilitarian because that's no fun. Maybe a little bit of utilitarian stuff, but you want fun stuff for Christmas,
Oh, yeah. That's another thing. I guess maybe a second part of that question, now that we're talking about it, do you have a wish list that you save someplace? Because I do have a Pinterest board it's called For Me, and it's just silly things that I say that I find that I would love to have.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd actually ask somebody, hey, buy this for me. But I do have a board that I created on Etsy that's like potential gifts for me or something like that. So that way, if somebody was interested, I could, give them the link to that. But
well, like I really want a laundry cart, like a rolling laundry cart. They have one for at West Elm, but it's like $150, and like.
What does that look like?
It's on a steel. What's the word? Base, yeah, like a rolling base, and it's like a big canvas cart, and it's really sturdy. And I was thinking about putting yarn in it as it sells, so I can keep it separate from what's currently in the shop. Like I do I have like 5 bins right now.
So you're not necessarily looking at it for laundry.
No.
You're looking at it for your yarn.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
I don't do laundry, please. I just throw everything in together. I don't need to sort it.
I wasn't going there, but that was in my head. Like, okay.
Yeah. So it's for yarn purposes, but like it's no fun to ask somebody for stuff for the business. It's like. You want fun stuff. Let us know.
Yeah, what's on your Christmas list? Very curious, because sometimes when I watch videos, like when I watched U University, there were some ideas that she had that I hadn't thought of, and I'm like, oh, I kind of like that idea.
The Yarn Harlot, Stephanie Pearl McPhee, usually does the countdown to Christmas. She does gifts for knitters every year. She usually blogs every day until December, but I know this year's a little bit different because she's had a really big loss in her family. But her past years, she has some very interesting
and you can always go back and read her past years.
Yeah. So we also have some other things to talk about. Mm-hmm. Would you like to talk about your thing?
Every year they do an indie design gift along on Ravelry, and there are, I think, about 300 designers that are participating this year. It started on Tuesday and will go through November 28th. And every designer that is participating will have anywhere from 10 to 20 of their patterns on sale for 25% off. It's a great time to buy some patterns if you're looking for a sale, and they have crochet and knit patterns. And you can just go and check them out. If you go to the Indie Gift Along group on Ravelry, if you look across the top in the tabs, they have a bundle to where you can click on that and see all of the patterns that are available, and then you can search through them depending on what it is that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Of course, you can look through all the patterns, but like say if you're thinking I'm looking for a shawl pattern, you could search.
Use the advanced search
features. You can use the advanced search to look specifically for shawl patterns or specifically for baby patterns or blankets or whatever it is that you're looking to buy for a pattern. Oops. But they have some really beautiful patterns out there.
They have some really big name people doing it too.
Oh yeah.
Casapinka, Suzanne Sommer, Carrie Bloomer,
Jennifer Dassow,
Amy Vanderlaar.
Yeah, some really great designers out there, as well as some people who are just starting out. You have to have a minimum of, I think it's 10 designs that are
paid patterns
that have been for sale on Ravelry before you can participate. So these are people that have been doing it for a little bit. And again, just wanted to put that out there so that in case you didn't know about it and you're looking for some really good patterns at a good price, this is something you can check out. We'll put the link to the Ravelry group in the show notes.
They have games and stuff too. They do designer hunts where they give you clues, and you go and you find which pattern matches with the clue. And they give.
Yeah, I forgot about the KAL too.
Yeah, and there's a whole knit along that goes along with it, and they have hundreds and hundreds of prizes.
They have a listing of all the prizes that have been they know about, that have been donated, and it is a ton. Yeah. You and I have both won patterns.
I've won patterns, and you won yarn last year.
I won yarn last year. Yeah. So,
I didn't actually finish last year, but I did participate.
You participated in one of the games.
I do the games all the time. The way it works, I think, is the third person who gives the correct answer wins, because I think they probably have a lot of people sending the answers. So
I don't know if it's always the third, but it's
randomized.
Yeah,
I guess, but
it's really a lot of fun, and it's interesting, and it's an active group during this time. So if you're looking, like I said, patterns and a good knit along to participate in, that's one to go and check out.
Yeah. So I have one little thing to talk about. It's a kind of a recommendation, a la Candace at Pin Feathers and Pearls. I've been playing Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. And if you've been watching for a while, you know how much I love Animal Crossing. It's really, really fun. It's like a phone game for smartphones. And you're the manager of a campsite, and you have to go around and, take care of your campers, kind of. And they use the same characters from all the other games. So it's, characters I'm really familiar with. And it's just a very calming, comforting game. And if you have been playing it and you like it, I would highly recommend that you check out New Leaf, which is the newest one for 3DS. I just really love it. It's just really special to me, and I'm really glad that a lot of people are kind of, getting introduced to it and playing the phone game.
Well, I don't know if Sed told you, and I know I didn't tell you, but today Sed and I were out, and I was sitting in the waiting area waiting for Sed. Well, no, we were both waiting before he went back, and this lady, a couple of seats down, was playing on her phone, because that sounds like Animal Crossing. And she was waiting for her mom, who had gone back for blood work, and she was just sitting there. And this lady had to have been, I don't know, maybe early 40s. So it's a game for everybody.
It really is. You first got me Wild World because you heard some really tough biker guy in front of you was buying it, and he's like, "Don't tell anybody."
I was in GameStop, and I was picking up a Pokemon or something for y'all, and I don't remember how old you were at this time.
It was 2005, so I was 12.
Yeah, so this guy in front of me, I mean, this big burly guy with like totally sleeved out tattoos and all this kind of stuff. He was buying it, and it was for him, but he was telling the guy behind the counter, "Don't tell anybody I'm buying this because it's for me." And I thought, I was amused by that, because you should own what you're doing and nobody should shame you for it. But I was listening to the conversation between the two guys, because both of them played it and both of them were talking about how much they loved it, and it sounded like it would be something the kids would like. So I went ahead and picked it up at that point, just on a whim.
It's amazing. It's like I know some people I've talked to, they suggest it for people with anxiety, just because it's very freeform, like especially the console games, like for 3DS. You do whatever you want to do. You can fish, you can catch bugs, you can talk to your animal friends. It's very like relaxing.
Well, you don't have to do a quest in a certain amount of time.
Yeah, it's a sandbox game. So
a sandbox game.
That's what they call them. Yep.
Huh. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, you build your town. You can pick and choose which animals come live with you. You do requests for them if you want.
I know Sed's like, you need to get this on your phone so I can get friend you or get more villagers.
Sed needs more friends. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not downloading this game just for that.
It's really fun. It's really cute. And if you have a smartphone, it's free to play. They do offer like Leaf coupons, which you can buy with real money, but you don't have to buy them to play the game.
Yeah, it's like a lot of games, so where there's some in-game purchases,
microtransactions.
But you don't have to do those things in order to fully enjoy the game.
Yeah, it kind of makes me want to bring back my Animal Crossing colorways. I might actually do that. I think Larry wants a hat out of the KK Slider colorway, which is the guitar-playing dog.
Well, he loves KK Slider.
So I think I'm going to maybe dye some more of that. I think maybe I might do a bulky weight hat, and whenever I buy that bulky weight, whenever I try that out.
Get him some KK Slider.
Yeah, I might do that. But, yeah, just a suggestion if you're bored and you want to play something on your phone that's relaxing. Other than that, I think that's all the knitting and other content we have for you this week.
I think so.
I'm going to do a little shop update section, but first I need to go grab the colorway for this month, so give me just a second. So this is going to be our last podcast for November, so I figured I would show you the November Harry Potter Club of the Month colorway. I think almost everybody has gotten it except for a handful of my customers in Australia, so if you have not gotten it yet, then please avert your eyes if you don't want to be spoiled. So this is the colorway for November. This is called the Night Bus. And it is a little washed out, but it is very tonal, pinky purple. It's really washed out, actually.
Does it look better back here?
A little bit, but it's a lot darker than this. So it's obviously inspired by the Night Bus, which is described as violently purple. So I figured that was the perfect inspiration. So it's intended to go with a lot of my Harry Potter colorways. Of course, I don't have any of them with me, but it would go with, I don't have any behind me either, Magical Me or Elop's Owl Emporium. It would go with Frolicking Felines or Radish Earrings, or I'm trying to think what else. I have so many Harry Potter colorways, and I'm all mostly sold out of them, so that's kind of why I'm a little stuck. Maybe with Dementor's Kiss. So, yeah, it's really a lot darker than this. I'm going to post a photo on Instagram towards the end of the month. It's the 24th today, so probably on the 29th through the 30th, I'll post a photo so you can see it a little bit better. But that is the November Club, which I'm really happy with. I'm actually thinking I'm going to do maybe a Sizzle Pop with this one and Magical Me.
You know, Sizzle Pop's one of the patterns that's in the gift along.
I bought it during her birthday sale, but I would have bought it now if I had remembered. Yeah, Leslie Ann Robinson. She's another. She's knit graffiti. Yeah, so that is the club colorway for this month, and will it be available in March, December, January, February, March? Yeah. So that is the club colorway. I'm going to show you what's currently in the shop. I am running a Black Friday sale. It started Thanksgiving, so it started yesterday. It's going to go Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, which is
Saturday. Tomorrow.
Well, Indie Friday. I was thinking Indie Saturday. Indie Friday is today.
And Black Friday.
Yeah, and Black Friday. I didn't know it was a thing, but I'm all for indie makers. I'm actually going to order some indie makeup whenever I finish because Shiro Cosmetics is doing a sale, and they do Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings inspired makeup. So shout out if you wear makeup and want to try them. There's Shiro Cosmetics, SHIRO.
They're on Etsy?
They have their own website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's going to go through Cyber Monday, which is what I was trying to say whenever I got distracted. So it's 20% off of everything in the shop, except for the Harry Potter Club, because technically that's not in the shop. And I don't think it's fair for somebody to buy it at the beginning of the month and pay $24 and somebody to buy it at the end of the month and pay $19. So this just makes it...
So this is just on ready-to-ship items?
Yes, this is just on ready-to-ship items. So I've sold about half of what I had in the shop, which is amazing. So thank you if you purchased from me. I will give y'all a little preview of what is left. So I just listed these two tonight. So these are not on sale because of the way that Etsy does their sale features now. You can't add items to a sale
once it's started.
So unfortunately, these two are not on sale. So this is God Rest You Merry Hippogriffs, which is one of my Christmas colorways. And this one is Shell Cottage, which is the colorway I knit my Rena shawl out of. So I have a handful of each of those. I think some of those have already sold. But those, again, are not on sale, unfortunately. But everything else I'm about to show you is 20% off. So let me grab all my skeins here. Okay, so I have Hagrid's Umbrella, which I think would go with the Night Bus very nicely. Hagrid's Umbrella, it's a semi-solid pink with some touches of blue that you can't really see. They're not reading very well, but they're
in there.
Yeah, a little bit right there. So Hagrid's Umbrella. I have Patisserie Party, which is an oldie but a goodie. This one is on shimmer sock. Somebody said it looked like pink camo, which I kind of see a little bit.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
This is Ectoplasm, which is a bright highlighter green. I have this on Squish DK and on Soft Sock. I have some more Pretty Floral Bonnets, which is a Firefly-inspired colorway that would count for our socks in Space KAL because Firefly takes place in space. So, Nathan Fillion. I am a fan of Nathan Fillion. So, I have some Chicory, which is kind of an all-purpose brown colorway. This one is on Lush Sock. I also have it on DK. I have it on Soft Sock. And I have it, I think, on Tough Sock, but I need to check on that. And that's what I knit this shawl right here out of. So.
That was your meandering?
Yeah, my meandering shawl by Stephen West. I have Christmas is Canceled, which is my Christmas colorway for this year that is not Harry Potter inspired. This one is on shimmer. I also have it on DK and on Silky Sock. I have Herbology, which is the mini skein that you used for your... Kama Sutra socks.
This color?
There it is. I think I just have one of these left. I think this is the last one. I have Black Magic. These are the last two I'm going to be doing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing this next Halloween, but this is the last two I have of these. So Black Magic. I have Gingerbread Girl, which is my other Christmas colorway. This one I came up with last year, so I'm bringing it back.
That looks like a single?
Yes, this one is on solo single, and I believe the other ones have sold, so I think I only have this one left. And then I have Stardew, which is a take on Stardew Valley. And this one is on Silky, but I also have one left on Soft Sock. So greens and purples and blues. And this one would also count for the Socks in Space because it's Stardew. So that is what is currently in the shop. Everything is in the shop. And almost everything is 20% off, and that's going to be until Monday. No code needed, no minimum order. Just if you like it, it's 20% off for the most part. So again, thank you to everybody who's shopped my sale. I really appreciate it. This is kind of like my way to give back to you guys. Actually, today I hit 2,000 sales on Etsy.
Wow.
Yeah, my goal, I started this year at 336, and my goal for the year was 800. So I just...
You're blown away?
Yeah, it's amazing. So thank you so much. If you've even looked at my shop, and I'm speechless. Like it's insane. So can't say thank you enough, but thank you again. I think that's all we have this week.
That is it for this week.
Yeah, so if you like what you see and you want to keep up with our episodes, you can click the subscribe button below. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, and we'll probably do a big giveaway.
We will definitely do a big giveaway when we hit 1,000.
I think I might do a custom colorway as the prize for that.
Oh, that would be cool.
I've never done that before, so I'm thinking about it. That might be the time to do it.
Cool.
So, yeah, thank you for watching. And, if you're new, thank you for checking us out. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. We love you guys, and we will see you next time.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.